It's the grandson of Ray Thought. Welcome back to the School of Marvelous Light, little flockulators. Things aren't always what they seem, and looks can be deceiving. We've all heard that, I'm sure. And I'm sure we would all like to think that we know it. And like I always said, to know something means to be able to put it into work, to be able to put it into practice and do it. If you don't know it, then you can't do it. That's why the parent runs over to the child and is like, you don't know what you're doing. Yahusha, when he was on the cross, he was basically saying, they don't know what they're doing. See? But they think they do. And that's an aspect of deception that everybody must understand. That not only does the person not only is the person doing what they're doing wrong, but they think that they're doing it right. You know, there are times when you're doing something and you know and are aware that while you're doing it, you ain't doing it right. You know it while you're doing it. You like, this shit ain't right, man. This ain't going right. It ain't working right. I ain't doing it right. And you may even tell the person, the parent, the trainer, whoever knows what they're doing. You may even tell them while you're trying, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. And it's best to admit you don't know what you're doing when it ain't going right, because then you can get the proper help from the one who actually does know. You see that there? It's like when you get a job, and let's say you get a job at a plant and you're on an assembly line. Well, you're going to learn one of those jobs that you're going to do on the assembly line. And in order for the assembly line to run smoothly, everybody has to be efficient at their particular job. So that by the time the object or vehicle or whatever it is you're building, by the time it gets to the next job, they can rest assured that your job was done, which allows them to do their job. But if you can't do your job or you don't know what you're doing, then the line's going to stop and everybody's going to look at you and wait for you to get it together or put somebody there who know what they doing. You see? But when you first got hired in and you came all in and everything, you got put on a job. Now, let's say this job was very physically demanding, but yet when you get put on the job, you've never done it. You're going to get trained by the guy who's been doing it for years. Now, this guy may be short, doesn't look very strong, looks kind of overweight, kind of old. And you're like, okay, this must be an easy job to do. Look at the guy. This shit must be easy. Yippee, skippy. Well, he starts swinging the machine around and clamping this and picking that up and dropping that over there and swinging this over here and picking that up with this and doing that. And then he puts it down and says, all right, that's the job. Then the next piece is going to come and we're going to do the same thing. And you're like, wow, that was a lot of swinging and dinging this guy had to do. Swinging that machine around and everything. All right. But it can't be that bad because look how he's built and everything. Now you get your young ass over there. You're strapping, strong muscles, bulging veins coming all down your bicep and everything. You grab on that machine, you can barely move the shit because you don't know. You don't know. Now somebody who may be looking may look at you and that old guy and presume that you're doing the job and you know how to do it and can do it. But it's actually quite the opposite. You don't know anything. You're like a baby deer. You can barely stand. You're swinging this shit around, hitting your hand, hitting your elbow, dropping apart, cling ding, smashing shit. Oh shit, uh-oh. I put the weld in the wrong spot. I was trying to get it, but the part started moving so fast I had just clamped it in. It clamped in the wrong damn spot. Shit. Stop the assembly line. Everybody's looking, yeah, there's the new guy down there. He's getting trained. Don't worry about it. They're happy because they get to sit off the line for a while and sit back down and look at their cell phones and eat a snack for a minute, a Pop-Tart or something. So they're sitting there and shit waiting for you to get your shit together because you don't know what you're doing. But over time, as you get used to it, you start to know it. And then now, guess what I'm about to explain to you guys? Now it's no longer about thinking. Now it's about feeling. Now, why is that, little flock, if what the grandson has been telling you all here at the School of Marvelous Light isn't true? Why do you see that it's true in your own existence, that you indeed are thought and feeling, and your thought is first, which proves that that's the man, and your feeling comes second? So how am I describing it in reference to this assembly line guy who just got hired? Well, when he first was working the job, he had to think of what to do. Okay, he said, turn this, then reach over there and grab that, and then pick that up there and grab the B part here and put it in that socket and hit the button and step back, let it come down and squish it. It's going to change the shape. Grab that part, turn, put it up in there. He's thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. You see? And his body is not used to it yet, so it may ache and get sore for a while. But after a few days of doing that, and it doesn't take a long time, but after a few days, he's no longer going and doing that job thinking like that anymore. He doesn't have to think about it. Now he does it by feeling. He can feel the machine and feel how it should move and move in unison with it and make it easier. He can work smarter and not harder. You see, little flock, but working smarter when it comes to a particular work comes with experience. You can't work smarter until you know how to work at all. You see that there? And so many may deceive themselves, like I said, looking at that guy saying, oh, he's short, or he's too fat, or he's too weak, or he's too this, or he's too that. But yet he's doing the job efficiently. The line never goes down. So he knows what he's doing. And when you know what you're doing, then you'll go off feeling and you won't have to think anymore about what it looks like or what it think like or what it this like. Everything has a technique. And once you learn the technique, then it goes by feeling. What I'm about to describe next will prove it to you. When you're a child and you're learning how to walk and you're moving your feet, you're unsure at first and your balance is off and every damn thing until you learn to feel. And once you become adept at the feeling, when I'm about to fall, I feel that I know what to do now. Before I just fell as a kid because I didn't know when I got off balance how to correct that. But now I know how to balance based off of the feeling that I feel when I get off balance. I didn't know that feeling before. You see it? But the proof that I was thinking it was my little tender little baby little steps I was taking so that I did not fall. I didn't know what it felt like to fall yet, but I just knew that I might. Why? Because I was thinking. I was thinking of what to do and how to take a step and how not to fall and what to grab on to not fall. And I was thinking, but now I know how it feels. So now I just walk. Okay, now I've gotten a little older and I've gotten a bike. Now it's got training wheels on it. The training wheels are to get me to develop a feeling. That's what they're there for. So I can get used to the balancing. See, like I did when I was walking. I can get used to what it feels to be balanced and when it feels to be unbalanced. You see it? And once I've gotten that, then I learn how to do it without the training wheels, and you can take the training wheels off. But they're there until I can feel. And once I can feel, then I've gotten it. So do you guys hear what I'm telling you there? You must become one and let your eye be single. You can't be thinking and feeling two different things. See, you have to have a new feeling, which is associated with a new thought. Oh, I got it. I can balance. If I do this, then I'll balance. And then you do it, and then you feel that it was right. Okay, now you're one with that. That's balance. So if I do that, then I'm good. If I do that, then I'm good. But if I get too skeptical and, yeah, I'm going to fall and put the training wheels, I need the training wheels to do it. And yeah. Fear and everything, then I'll never accomplish anything and I'll never do anything. Look at the doggy, y'all. She clearly just has some puppies. Look at them teats hanging down there. And she has a collar around her neck. Y'all see this? There's somebody's dog that then got loose and got pregnant and had some puppies. Now she living on the street taking care of them, y'all. But anywho, back to the message at hand. So do you see? Now I'm going to explain this with an old movie clip that I'm sure y'all know about if y'all know about Bruce Lee. He's training, see what I'm telling you, a kid. Now he's the trainer, he's the master. That means he know what he doing. Bruce Lee know what he doing, but this child don't know yet. So watch what Bruce Lee gonna say. Watch, and then consider what I'm telling you. He's gonna say, kick me. And the guy tries, he says, hit me or something. And the kid tries, but he kind of barely tries. And Bruce Lee pops him in the head. Pow! I said, hit me, man. And the kid tries a little harder, right? And he's like, okay, that's better. And eventually he says to the kid, how did it feel? When he does it right, he said, how did it feel? And the kid goes, let me think. And he smacks him in the head. And he says, don't think, feel. He asked him, how did it feel? Why did he ask him that? Because that's what you need to feel in order to do it again. And you did it right that time. So that's the feel. Look what I'm saying to you guys. The balance. Okay, when you felt it, then you stumbled and fell. And I caught you. And then I said, but did you feel that? Did you feel it when you balanced? Did you feel that feeling? That's the feeling we want to get in order for you to continuously reproduce it. So that goes with everything in life, little flockulators. The secret I've been telling you all about. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? It goes that way with everything in life. It doesn't matter what it is. It's about feeling as though it is so. That's how you balance. You must feel the balance first. And once you feel it and recognize the feeling, then you become one with it, like a man does with a woman. So do you see how my doctrine that I've told you about of the male and the female is pure all the way through the scriptures? Even if you jump out of the scriptures, you'll still see the truth, like we just proved. It's everywhere. Do you see what I'm saying? He's telling that kid, become one with that feeling. And what did he say? Well, let me think about how I felt. Think. I said feel. We passed the thinking point. See, we're past the training wheels. You just did it. You just rode the bike without the training wheels. And then you're asking, and then you want me to put the training wheels back on? No. Tell me how that felt to ride without them. And then watch what he says next. Bruce Lee says, it is like a finger pointing away at the moon. And then the kid looks at his finger. And he says, don't look at the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. In other words, what I'm telling you is like a finger pointing at something. And because I'm pointing at it, the glorious thing I'm pointing at, you're not looking at what's glorious because you're looking at my finger. Gosh, golly, can you guys understand what the grandson telling you today? What Bruce Lee was trying to tell y'all that day? Everybody's so caught up on what it seemed or looked like that they can't see the glory that the person that is pointing at because they're too busy looking at the object that's doing the pointing. Can't you see it? And they miss all that heavenly glory. Is that not what he said? Don't look at the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. You'll miss the thing I'm pointing at. You see? So that little lesson that he's teaching there is the kingdom. Just like I'm telling you guys. But if you're caught up in outward appearance, if you're caught up on his race, if you're caught up on how he look or where he come from, then you'll miss God's spirit that listeth where it will and blows where it will, and it land upon who it land upon. And Abba know who's the willing, suitable vessel to do such a thing. He knows it. And that's why he said from the very beginning who he would pick in the end. It would be the same people. He said it. I will yet choose Israel. I will yet choose that same bloodline to plant my spirit into them in the last days. And because they are such a despised, hated people, do you understand why I'm telling all of you today not to judge outward appearance? Not to believe the enemy's illusion of what he has painted. Don't you know he calls evil good and good evil? I want you to consider that today. If he's a deceiver, then indeed he's calling good evil. So that means that the good on the earth that Abba has made good, because he's the one that planted the seed, the Bible made that clear. So the good that he planted or the wheat that he planted is called evil by this world. Did you know that, little flock? They're called bitter by this world when they're actually sweet. They're called darkness by this world when they're actually light. Yahusha was all of our proof. Is your light greater than Yahusha's light? Are you persecuted and do you suffer affliction? Okay, so if his light is greater than your light, then what does that mean? That he suffered more than you did as an example to show you what you would suffer so that you could bear it when you go through it. Because if you could just look at him and focus your mind on him and not be offended at him when he does the thing that will save you. when he shows you the ultimate key that opens the door to the kingdom of heaven, when he shows it to you, will you be offended? As he said, so many would be that day when he says, you shall all be offended at me. Well, damn, that shows you how few men will enter the kingdom. And just as it was in the days of Noah, one man was saved in his household. Just so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. And so when you look at that and you look at what I've told you all about John, and you look what Yahushua said, when he said they shall all be offended at me, who was at the cross out of the 12? I told you there was only one, because few find it, and the rest shall be offended at that time. And they'll follow all the way up into that point, which is the very end. The very end. When there shall be a branch remaining upon a tree, if it be so. Well, Abba's prophecy makes it clear that there's a servant who shall come in the end, a man whose name is the branch. In case you're wondering if he's a man, the Bible told you that he was. And it capitalized his name so you could see him, so you could recognize the end. That when he stands up, that those animals would no longer harm each other, just as in the days of Noah, like I've told you all. Even though, let's face it, people didn't know that. They didn't know that. Wait a minute. It does say a prophecy of a branch here, and it says that the animals that previously were enemies are now laying down together, feeding together. Even a snake and a baby are playing together. Well, wasn't that the way it was in Noah's day? When Noah was on the ark, were the lions eating the cows, and were the bears eating the deers? Were the snakes attacking anybody? No. No. So shall it be. Do you guys understand that? How simple that is to understand once you see it, but you just didn't see it before? But when you do see it, you say, yeah, the prophecy lines right up. This is the same thing that Yahushua was talking about when he was talking about the end. So shall it be in the days of Noah. So shall it be. And so it is. But because people judge by outward appearance, they have judged everything that's good wrong, because they're listening to a deceiver. And they're listening to the God of this world, who has deceived their minds because they hate the truth. They love the lies, guys. They've made lies their refuge. So imagine all of these people around you, for the most part, are living a lie. They're putting on a mask and a deception every day in their false character and in their feigned love. It appears righteous unto men, but it's not. And the only way you could be delivered out of that deception of being deceived by a man or a woman with feigned love and fake support and fake love, the only way you can be delivered out of that, have the eyes and the ears that Abba grant unto you, when your spirit is awakened in you and you are regenerated in life, no longer living in death. Like a slave who has a chain about his neck that anybody can just grab and pull along to tell him who he is, where he's from, what his name is, what he's going to do and what he's going to accomplish and what he's not going to do, what his limits are, what his abilities are. That's all taught to you by the God of this world. And you think God love it? He made it clear who he loved. Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. He rejects that world. That's what I'm telling you guys. But y'all are so caught up on outward appearance, you think everything that God says has to do with outward appearance, even though none of it does. He told you it doesn't. Men judge outward appearance, but I do not. So then if you heard that and accepted that and weren't rebellious or hard-hearted or anything, then you live like that. And you live it and you know it. And you say, wait a minute, let me start judging my wife by inward appearance. Damn outward appearance. By inward appearance, because that's the truth of who she is. Not what she looked like or how she make me feel, but what she looked like. Because if she make me feel a thing, that means I'm one with it. And if that feeling isn't true, then I become one with a lie. Or as the scripture says, one with a harlot. And don't do that, the Bible says. But y'all are so caught up, like I said, on outward appearance that you think everything has to do with outward appearance. You think you can be with a woman, and I'm just using this as an example, but you think you can be with a woman and she's not physically gone and cheated on you, so she's a good woman. That's a lie. Because she doesn't have to physically cheat on you to cheat. If you were a spirit and knew you were, you'd understand what God means about you committing adultery on him. Are y'all so silly to think that you commit adultery on God if you have sex with a person? You think that? You think that's the adultery that God is concerned with if he's a spirit? then how come he says his wife has committed adultery on him, guys? How come he says that? That his wife has committed adultery on him, if she hasn't? Well, she does. She does. She's an adulterous woman, the Bible says. She played the harlot, the Bible says. Well, then what does he mean? What could you do to commit adultery on God? So if you're supposed to worship God, right, and you commit adultery, what kind of things could you do? Well, you would say, serve another God. And how do you serve another God? You believe that that other God has something of value. That's it. You believe there's something he has that is valuable for you to obtain it. So you leave your husband and you go and you switch your God. Do you understand what that means? You believe in something other than the Father which is in you to provide for you something that you need, something that you want. So Yahushua came to clear that up and said, stop thinking about what you physically need in your bodies and what you wear and what you eat. He made that clear that that's what he was tearing down. Their fear about having things. You don't have to have fear when you know how to get it. See what I mean about y'all don't know what y'all doing. You don't know. Christ made it clear that they didn't know, guys. So don't get all up in arms to be told that. You live in a wicked, perverse, faithless generation. People that don't believe the true way. And if you're faithless, then you could never know the way, because that's the only way you can know it is faith. And if you want an example about what Abba does with faithless, all you have to do is read what he did to the Israelites when they came out of Egypt. And they doubted it, and they murmured, and they complained, and they tempted him, the Bible says. And what was their end? They all perished in the wilderness. So then, what does that mean that you should do? Continue along in their folly and perish because you doubt God, because you don't believe he loves you, because you don't believe he'll take care of you, and so you look to something else to do that. See how it sounds like a woman and a husband? See? You don't believe he'll provide for you because you need evidence. You want a man, watch how I'm going to talk to you and watch how it clicks. You want a man that you can look at his bank account and see commas and commas and zeros and zeros and zeros. That's the man you want. Ask the women about a man they want and see if money comes up. See if money is mentioned or if it's not mentioned. When you ask any woman about a man she wants, a desirable man, see if money is mentioned. And then that'll answer your question. So she needs to see that in order to feel secure. So is she going by faith or is she going by sight? See? So if you're a nation of people who are living in the wilderness who don't have anything, then what are you looking for? Watch how obvious it is. You're looking for a nation who has all of those things to take care of you. So then what happened? They were in Egypt. They were in Babylon. Watch how I'm about to say this, and then you guys tell me if it's true. They were in Babylon. Now look at the statue of Daniel and see if these nations line up with the captivities that God's people have been in. Babylonian captivity. Persian captivity. Now look at the statue. That's the head of gold and the chest and everything of silver. Now what's the third? That would be Greece. That would be the Greeks. Where were the Israelites? Read Book of Maccabees. You can read the Apocrypha, and it'll tell you all about Antiochus, Epiphanes, and all those other guys. It'll tell you all about them, what they did to Israel, God's people. All right, then. So then you go to the next one, which is the iron. And what is that? We just left the brass. Now we're in iron. And what is that? That would be Roman. Now read Yahushua and in his day and read what he said about the money and whose inscription was on it. You're going to find out it's Caesar's. Caesar is the leader of Rome. So then Rome is in control and their money is who the Jews' money they're using. So then who has the Israelites subjected himself to? Well, I don't need you to tell me because I'll let them tell me. They said, we have no king over us but Caesar. And they rejected their own king. And they said, he's no king over us. Yahushua, he's no king over us. We have no king but Caesar. See, so we have no husband but Caesar. But that's your husband right there. Israel never accepts the man. That's why in the black community, the fathers are kicked the fuck out of the house every turn that you go. Everywhere you go, there are fatherless little black children running around, hurting and in pain and in agony every single day because they don't know who they are. Because the one who tells them who they are is stripped out of their lives, either by force or by subterfuge or by trickery and deceit and lying. And oh boy, how many children have come into this world? If you took a DNA test, you would find out that the man house he's living in, got his name is not his father. So when would these women take accountability for the things that they're doing when they lie to men and say, I have only been with you, but yet the child doesn't have that man's DNA. So it's impossible that you could have only been with that man. So why lie to him and tell him that to save face and destroy that child's life? Why do that? You seek to save your life, you lose it. Don't you see how you're doing that? You're losing all your credibility, all your integrity, everything that makes you into an upright person. You lose and you give it up, thinking that you're saving your life. But yet this child, this innocent child, suffers every damn day. And y'all turn a blind eye to it. And y'all make it harder and even harder and harder for the father to be in that child's life. And you think God's pleased with this? You think that's the way God ordered it to be? Do you think so? Why don't you read his word and tell you how divine order goes? But y'all rebellious and you don't want to do it. And all y'all care about is your own selfish desires and how you look before men. And Yahusha already told you that everything that them hypocrites do, they do to be seen of men. So who must you be today? You must be one of them wicked ass hypocrites that do all kinds of wicked things, got your whole body full of dead men's bones and carcasses of lives that you've taken and destroyed, trying to hoist yourself up and keep this image of yourself up. Under that Jezebelian spirit of that bitch that's sitting there saying, I'll never be childless. I'll never be a widow. Yes, you shall. In a day that shall come upon you because of your pride. But all y'all care about is how it's going to look when you walk outside. God damn, how long will you go along with this foolish system that's got you hanging upside down by your ankle like I Am Legend, while your enemies are waiting to come and devour you as soon as that sun go down? But as long as the sun is up, when you cry out to the Father and say, release me, Father, today. Release me from these things that destroy your innocent ones. Because I read your word that said it is better for a millstone to be tied around his neck and him to be cast into the sea than to offend one of these little ones who are innocent as can be, who never did anything wrong. What's wrong with you heartless ass devils in this world? You look at a child cry and you don't have no compassion for him. So how the fuck are you fit to live in this world? Y'all tell me today. You tell me. You hate he who speaks upright. So don't expect me to sit here and expect accolades from you all. I don't. I know you're going to hate me for what I say because you love wickedness. Isn't it clear to see? Y'all love doing wickedness. Y'all love destroying and tearing down. A foolish woman, foolish feelings. Oh, I'll be safe if I do this. Tears your own damn house down. Tears your own life down. I'll be hidden. Nobody will know my own motives, what I'm really doing. Yes, we can see what you're really doing. We can see it by the pain in that child's eyes, what you're doing. But you can't see the own pain in your child eye while you lie to everybody. The court, you lie to the whole damn system, you lie to the whole damn world saying that you're doing something good for the child. How long will y'all go about lying like this and deceiving, thinking God doesn't see you? What would you do if somebody did it to you? You all who are working this iniquity out in the world. I don't give a damn if you're male or female. It doesn't matter to me. You who are working iniquity to get over because you're mad at somebody, will that please God? So don't open your mouth to talk about God. Don't open your mouth to say you serve him. Don't open your mouth to say the Son's name, because you blaspheme every time you take his name. Every time you get up and take a breath, you blaspheme with it because you use it to destroy. You use the breath God gave you to tear down. You'll tear down even your own children. And you think that I'm making this up by saying this, but yet Abba says you have all become like ostriches. You have all become like ostriches. Did you know the characteristics of an ostrich? Well, if it ends up looking like you, then that means your ass is nothing but a pea-brained bird that can run real fast. But that's about all the fuck you can do, ain't it? You're too stupid to do anything else. And even when troubles come, you dig a little fucking hole in the ground and put your head down in it and hide from it. While all of your ass is up in the air and everything's open to be devoured, you think you're safe because you can't see the danger anymore. I'm hiding. That's how stupid you are. That's what God says. You think you're hiding. I told y'all, if I can see it, I bet you Abba can see it. And I'm telling you what I see. I see deceivers that work iniquity. I don't care how you paint it up. I'm not interested in that because I don't judge that way. I judge the intent of your heart, nigga. So when you stepped up there in that court with them falsified documents, I saw the intent of your heart as to why you did that. When you lied, when you embellished and you added on to the story and you added in things that didn't happen, you worked iniquity. You worked iniquity. And I saw that. And I saw why that happens, because it takes place in your heart. Your heart is filthy as fuck You ain't forgive nobody. I don't give a damn what it looked like, but you niggas so caught up in what it looked like. I told you things ain't what they seem. It's how I start this message. And looks can be deceiving. And y'all all walk around saying that, but y'all don't fucking act like it. Y'all still working it. You paint it. I can't wait till Abba takes your fucking paint out your damn hand and leave that canvas there, and let's see how well you can paint now. Now that canvas is going to be blank and everybody going to see it for what it is, because you can't paint the shit up no more. I can't wait for the last paintbrush to be snatched out y'all bitch ass hands, because you don't deserve them. Because all y'all seek to do is use that paint to deceive you. Learn it from your fucking mother. It says it right there in the word that she painted up her damn face. So what the hell you think y'all are doing when y'all doing it? Being godly. Well, it says Jezebel did that. Was Jezebel godly? Oh no, of course not. Well then why in the hell are you doing it? Because as soon as you ask them a real question, look how they get stupid and fucking mad at you. You go, wait a second. You painted your face all up, took you all damn day to paint it. You said you did that for God to look at you and be pleased with what he saw? Well, I just wanted to present myself good. I mean, doesn't that bring glory to the Father that you look good and healthy and feel good and everything? Okay, so you're saying you painted it up for him, right? So you think he cares? That's what you're trying to tell me. He cares about that. Well, yeah. Okay, well then right here in the word, it says, I don't care about that. Braiding the hair, costly apparel, jewels, painting of the face and all that. I don't care about that. What I care about is the hidden man of the heart. See how the grandson care about Abba and you actually don't care about Abba? You see the difference? You see why the world is perplexed by me? Because I don't look like what you think a righteous man look like. I don't give a fuck. See how I'm talking to you? I don't care. This is all outward what you're seeing. This has nothing to do with what's going on in my heart. What's going on in my heart is proven by what I'm talking about. Now, what am I talking about? Let's see. Yeah, the grandson, he's on here promoting murder. He's on here promoting robbing and killing and fornicating and committing adultery. That's what he's all about. Well, if I was, you guys would call me wicked. If I was on here promoting that kind of shit, you guys would call me a devil and wicked as fuck and shouldn't be listened to. Then why don't you do that when you turn your radio on? Why don't you do that same shit when that false preacher preach at you? Because you don't know what the fuck you doing. That machine snatching your ass around. You can't get the parts in place, and that's why your assembly line keeps stopping. And alarms keep going off, and your ass gonna get fired because you ain't no good worker. So get the fuck off the line, bitch. Put somebody that know what they're doing on the line so we can move this damn thing along. I'm telling you right now. Niggas is waxing worse and worse. And instead of dealing with it, what do? They put a Band-Aid on the shit. Okay, yeah, the gash opened up again, and we know we need stitches, but if we just put this Band-Aid across it, it'll hold it together until it fuses together and heals. But you keep using it. So it'll never fuse or heal, because the moment that you put that Band-Aid and then you go about deceiving, is what I'm saying, and working iniquity again, and you work it again, guess what? The wound opens up again. So then you put another Band-Aid. And everybody you see walking around you, that's why they can't sprout. That's the point. They don't know what they are. And so since you don't know what you are, then you don't know what you're called to do, when you're called to do it. That's what Yahushua said. He says you can look at the sky and you can see by the clouds the kind of weather that's going to be. But guess what you can't do? You can't discern the times that you're living in. See? So you know what's going to happen in the 3D, but you can't even see what's going to happen inside of you and when it's going to happen because you pay not attention there. It's dead and desolate in there. That's the land that your forefathers dwelt in. It's within you. God told you it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. That's where they spent all their time. That's where they spent all their energies. That's where they spent all of their hope. It was in that place. But you decided to leave that land and go out there into the 3D world looking for some help. That's what it's all about when you read the Bible. God is a spirit, so his people are spirit. And since they don't know that they're spirit, then they look for a 3D help. And it's all over there, and I just proved it to you. And Yahushua even proved it even further, because watch what I'm about to tell you here. Yahushua said, you've had how many husbands, y'all? And the man you with now ain't your husband. I broke that mystery down to you before because I told you there's a statue there and there are 4 kingdoms on that statue, correct? And Israel was in bondage to all 4 of them, weren't they? And then there's a 5th one down there, isn't there? That would be the feet, the iron mixed with the clay. And that man you're living with now is not your husband. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, not what Yahushua said. See how I just broke it down with you with Daniel's vision? Because that's what Daniel was trying to tell you guys. You're looking and looking and looking. You saw a head of gold. Wow, that's so glorious and wonderful. Okay, what happened? They put your ass in slavery. That's not your husband. So look what I'm trying to explain, guys. What I'm saying is, when you look into 3D for help, you're not going to find your husband because that's not where he is. But when you look there, you are going to find a person who will put you in bondage because they're not your husband. So they're not going to treat you like a wife. They're going to treat you like a slave, like Abraham treated Hagar. But he treated Sarah different than he treated Hagar. And because he treated those women differently, then their sons that they had were different. And so Abba said, I'm going to choose Sarah's son because he's the offspring of the wife, of the bosom of the husband. But Hagar's son gendereth to bondage. She's a slave, and so she's going to gender him to be a slave. To outward glory and getting and vainglory and things of the carnal nature. He's going to be carnally minded like a slave. So then he can't inherit the same thing as Isaac. So they're going to be separated. And guess who had to get kicked out? Abraham had to kick out Hagar and her son. Think about what people would call that today's day and age. See why they say about, they don't know about what good is. They would say Abraham is a deadbeat dad. Look at what he did. He kicked that woman out on the street with her son because God told him to. What a wicked fool. Yeah. But Abba said he was counted unto him as righteousness. So then I don't know what the hell you think what a fool is because he said he was thinking right. So then what you thinking? Oh, hey, I thought what I knew was right. I explained that to you earlier. All you niggas think that what you're doing is right because you took a breath of air when you went back in your house because when you left it, you deceived everybody out there. And when you came back home, you went, whew, now I can be who the hell I really am, a fucking monster. That's who you are. You're an angry, mean, impatient, self-centered, gluttonous bastard is what you are. Grandson, why are you talking so mean to people? Okay, let me explain the words that I just used, and then maybe you'll understand if you grow up a little bit and put childish things away. When you are in the carnal mind, what characteristics do you exhibit? Break them down for me. Would they be the same things that I just said? Let's see. The carnal mind is death, so let's make sure we pin that to the characteristics that we're going to come up with here. It's death. So then we can't be thinking any good life and peace thoughts. Can't. So then scratch everything that's life and peace off. So then what kind of characteristics would we display? Well, it says vainglory. So vainglory means people believed me, but God didn't. And I'm just making it quick and understandable for everybody. People believed you and thought you were good, but God didn't. That's vainglory. Because you got glory, but it was in vain that you got it. Vainglory means getting it from men. Woe unto you when all men speak well of you, but you want all men to speak well of you. So you ignored God when he said, woe unto you for doing that. Destruction is coming. That's what woe means. Destruction is coming to you because you're doing the things that bring death. Vainglory brings death. That's what I'm explaining to you with the carnal mind. Vainglory. Pride, same damn thing. Pride goeth before a fall. So then if you have pride, will you stand forever? See how stupid it is to rely on pride to give you anything in life? But when you're standing there and everybody's going, what a great specimen. Look how tall and muscular and rich And look how long his limbs are. Look how beautiful his bone structure is and his haircut. And he's been mewing. Look at his cheekbones and every damn thing. Look how straight and white his teeth are. Gosh golly, he's gotta be good. When you're being told all that, you feel good about yourself, but you don't know that it will fade. Have you guys ever seen a man who was just drop dead gorgeous when he was 33 years old? I mean, he's perfect in his prime, right? Now he's 93 and he's laying in a casket dead. Is his teeth still pearly white and his cheekbones all chiseled and his abs all rippled? Nope. No. It's all faded. Didn't it? Same thing with that bombshell ass women. How many supermodels look like a damn crackhead today? Many. How many porn star models have men oogled over and drool that died in a lust-filled, drug-induced overdose? How many? So then why is it valuable for people to oogle over you and drool? OnlyFans models. Why is this so important? Because I'm getting paid. But you're also losing your integrity and your dignity. And you'll never have a man that value you. Well, I don't want that. I'm getting my money. I don't need one. All right. Well, then you just didn't read God's word. You're rebellious to him. I don't take it personal. You can call me misogynistic and I'm a woman hater and I'm a whatever it is, words. I don't know because I'm not in that world. So whatever words you come up with, you can say whatever the hell you want to say. It don't make it true because you niggas lie. That's the breastplate of righteousness that I wear that I tell you guys about to wear. People accuse you, it just bounces off. This shit has no credibility. You don't have to tell anybody it doesn't because you're not worried about anybody. You're worried about Abba's judgment. So as long as Abba's judgment, watch what David said. Search my heart. See? Did David also say, I fall into the hands of Abba? That's whose judgment I'm going to fall into because he's merciful. See? How when you know what you're doing, you do it? David knew what he was doing, so he did it. He didn't wonder if God was merciful. He didn't wonder about God's attributes. Once you see the attributes of the carnal mind, then you know what God is. Shit. Once you see murder, death, killing, raping, pillaging, plundering, and iniquity in all its forms and facets, then you understand what God is. He's none of those things. He's none of them. But yet, hard-headed people and lawless people still needed to hear it. Thou shalt not kill. Okay? Oh, okay. Now we'll stop. You didn't stop to think that you were? Thou shalt not commit adultery. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. It's not right to do that, man. Take my friend's wife and lay with her. I know that's not right, but I needed somebody to tell me that in order to really know it good. So you needed a manual? Even though the master's right there showing you how to work the machine, you still rather read the manual than just to let somebody with experience show you how to do it? Well, yeah. Okay, well, how good did it do you? It didn't do me any good. How many times has that happened to you guys growing up? Or just living life? You come across somebody that's working on something, they can't do the shit at all, and they've been struggling for hours, and yet when you can see the issue and you can see what might work, it may not. But you can see an option that may work that they can't see. And yet when you offer to give it a shot, they won't even let you step in. They won't even let your hand touch the object. Niggas will literally swat your hand away. No, I got it. Shit. And they got a screwdriver and shit. Getting cramp in his hand, shit locking up and shit, knuckles and shit. Okay, wait, let me try this hand. Dude, why don't you let me? No, I got it right here. Right, see, look at the screw. Look at it. I'm getting it. Oh shit, fucking cramp. Oh shit. Oh yeah, dumbass nigga. That's what your ass get. Pride, vainglory having ass nigga. Look at you. Look at your shit cramping. Look at you about to cry. Look at the frustration. Look at you. But yet you're so prideful, you won't simply step to the side and say, give it a shot, man. And then even if these niggas do, let me tell y'all this little tidbit as well. Even when the nigga do give you a shot, he's hoping like a motherfucker you fail so that he can get all the glory when it's fixed. So he goes, go ahead, man. Here, man, you try, man. Go ahead, man. And you trying and trying. The whole time he's looking. He's just watching like a fucking hawk. He's like, yeah, shit, man. Nigga, what's that? Oh, shit. Okay, yo, no, come on, man. Don't get that shit. Don't let this nigga get it. Don't let that nigga get this shit, man. Everybody gonna think this nigga the hero. Come on, man. Fuck up. And you go, oh, man, I can't get it. He's like, okay, yeah, let me try it again. Yeah. But in his head, in his heart, he's saying, dumbass nigga, you couldn't get shit done, nigga. I'm the one who can fix it. Get your ass out the way. Let me get back to work. All right. It might have worked if you weren't sabotaging that nigga with your thoughts and feeling so damn bad. Trying to be the hero. I remember I was on a road trip one time, guys. I was a teenager at this time, and I'm on a road trip. And one of the guys that we're on a road trip with, he's sleeping the whole damn time. There's only a few of us, there's 3 or 4 of us. But we're driving, we're taking turns driving. Well, the one guy, he ain't taking no turns driving. He's just sleeping the whole damn trip. And we laughing about it the whole trip. And when we stop at the gas station, get gas, stretch, eat, this nigga still in the back seat. You're like, damn, this nigga been asleep for 11 hours, bro. So the nigga sleep. Now we get about an hour out of the city that we're headed to. We're about an hour out, guys. We've been driving for half a damn day. We get about an hour out. This nigga wake up. Hey, I'm going to go ahead on and take over, man. I know y'all tired, man. I'm going to go ahead on and take over. So we pull on over at the nigga's gas station and shit. Me and the other guy laughing like a motherfucker. We like, this nigga is crazy. Do you hear this nigga? Come on, I'm going to go ahead on and bring us on in. Nigga, bring us on in. We know why. You want that feeling that you get when you're the one that pulls in the city. Yeah, we're here, guys. We've made it. You want that feeling. But you knew it was going to take a long time before that feeling was available. So you just waited until it was available. What did I tell you guys about Satan? He doesn't care how high that hill is. He want to stand on it, guys. Do you hear what the grandson's saying? Remember where we went? And that was green pastures. The green pastures were a flat plain. I told you that. They're flat. Well, if there's any place that ain't flat, that may be a little elevated than the other, he's coming for it. And how does he come for it? This is how. There's some Israelite walking around minding his own business. He's walking through the green pastures. He's like, wow, man, look at this. He's kind of walked away from the rest of the flock. So he's minding his own business, walking over on the side over there. And he happens to see a little elevated hill there. And he goes, wow, never knew that was there. The rest of the flock doesn't know it's there. Let me go investigate. And as he gets closer and starts to walk up, he starts to realize he's elevated above the rest. He looks over and he sees that he's higher than all the rest of the little flock. As soon as he sees that, here the guy comes with his arm around his shoulder. Hey, flocculator. Doesn't it feel great to be up here? Now, how do I know this? Well, Yahusha was chilling out in the 40, separated from the flock and everybody else like I've just described to you. And Satan took Yahusha to an elevated place, or did he take him really low to a flat plain? He took him to an elevated place and showed him all of the kingdoms of the world. And then he also took him to the temple and he set him on a pinnacle there in a high elevated place. So now, Satan is trying to deceive Yahusha out of his birthright, just like I told you guys about mine. And now I'm going to prove through what Satan did. We're going to make a left turn here at Albuquerque and prove a little tidbit of wisdom that Abba just dropped on us. See a little dollop of whipped cream on top of our pie there. Watch what's going on here. He said he took him to elevated place, showed him the kingdoms. That means earthly elevation. The kingdoms represent riches, power, and dominion. Kingship. You see it? That's what he's offering Yahusha. And then he takes him to a temple and puts him on the pinnacle there. So what is he showing him there? The high priest position. Now, what did I tell you was the kingdom that they were enslaved to when they said we have no king over us, but who? Caesar. Now, when you look at the Roman, does he have 2 positions that I just described to you? Well, have you looked at the Roman Vatican? in the Catholic Church, that would be the elevated seat that Satan has offered to them. And they took it, obviously, and they also got the world's riches. Scoot doo, can you understand me? That mean them niggas, them damn Romans, they got deceived, 'cause they was trying to get all that damn money, and then they got it, but they pride deceived them. Just read the word, and then you gotta believe them, 'cause Abba don't lie, but niggas do. So don't listen to them, and don't check them too. Don't check them too. Don't check them too. Just cut their ass off. Don't check them too. They like, grandson, what check them too mean? It mean don't measure their ass twice, just slice. Like I just did their ass. Don't check them too, just cut their ass. Y'all hear me? Abba already said this. He said their pride deceived them. See what I'm saying to you? So that offer that Satan offered, he offered to them and they took it. That's why God hates the world of Esau. But he loved Jacob. That's why he said it. Can you understand me? So everything associated with Esau is what you've seen painted up as good in the world. And it was a lie. They washed it with a lie. I don't have to tell you who washed it. Put another word before washed that start with whatever word you need to start it with to make it clear to you. They washed it. And if you try to unwash it, they will come down on you with the rage and lies and deceptions and hate while claiming that's what you're doing. This is the way of the world you live in. They will accuse you of doing everything that they themselves are doing. And then you will be found guilty of it by the world. This is how sick the world has become. Do you hear what I'm actually telling you? You take somebody to court and all you have to do is tell the court what this other person, all you have to do is tell the court what you have done to this person, but disguise it by saying that that's what they've done to you. And you will win your court case because the world is sick. So if you like to work iniquity, then that means you knew the world was sick and you worked it to your advantage. Because the world is fucking sick as hell, man. I just proved it to you by telling you that. You take each other to judgment in court and you just tell a lie. That nigga won't pay me child support. He said he ain't paying me nothing. That's not what he actually said. He said he's not paying you nothing until he has proof that they're actually his children. And when he said that to you, you got so fucking full of rage, which I will never understand that, guys. Let's slow down and talk about this. I don't give a damn how uncomfortable it make people. I only want righteous people around me anyway. And this is how you make sure you have that. You tell the truth about everything. So then if they want to stand next to you, they got to accept the truth about everything. Everything. So like I'm about to do right now, I don't care how I make y'all feel about it. It's just the truth. I'm going to tell it to you because I ain't going to spare. Shit, that's what you do when you want somebody saved. You don't spare their feelings concerning some danger. Well, if I tell him it's danger and I might have to snatch him out of the way, he might get mad because I snatched him. So what? Get mad at me all you want. You'll realize what I did after. Maybe you'll thank me afterwards. But like I'm saying, guys, you're living in this backwards, upside down world that people lie and they hide under lies. And then they say, that's what this guy did to me. So then a woman gets mad. Now, when we're talking about this point, I want to make sure I understand this clearly. When a man and a woman lay down to have a child, let's say this woman is a virgin and this man is a virgin and they come together. This is the first time that he has had sex. This is the first time that she has had sex. Okay? They come together and she gets pregnant. Now, the man and the woman know about the virginity. They know exactly what it is. But let's say he gets pressured by family. They're like, we'll take care of that child. We'll help you take care of it and everything and support you guys. We just want to make sure it's his child. We trust our son. We just don't trust you. Now, when she hears that, is she going to get mad as hell and defensive and fucking angry? Because that's what I see going on in this world. I'm not saying that the girls that I see doing that are virgins. I'm just using that example to prove that this woman has no reason to want to defend herself at the point. She knows she hasn't been with anybody else. She knows it. So will she get angry if somebody asks her to see the proof? Will she get defensive if somebody says, well, I want to make sure that he's really the father? She knows it. She's like, all right, ain't no skin off my back. I'm not scared. But when a person goes, what the fuck you trying to say? I'm a hoe or something? You trying to say I fuck somebody else? See, that's why I don't fuck with you. That's your motherfucking son. Well, how come if it's his son, you won't let him see him and shit? It's funny how it's his son when it comes to proof of paternity, but then when it comes to actually letting him actually be in there and be paternity to that child, you're blocking every damn step of the damn way. Y'all hear what I'm saying today? Because like I said, it goes across the board. I told you guys earlier, I'm using these as examples. Because it goes across the board, what I'm saying. This shit goes across every level. Niggas lie to get ahead at work. Niggas will act like they're your friend, and then you will say something in their confidence, and they will go and tell the higher up that you said it about them just to tear you down. Your boss comes, yeah, you said I was a fat ass, huh? And you're like, damn, I told Tony that at dinner last night. That motherfucker Tony. And you look down and you see Tony down there, and he's like, watching you squirm and shit while the boss probably will fire you. So then he can fire you, and then Tony can get the bitch that you was fucking with at work. How stupid is all of this shit? Because that's what be going on. Niggas get envious. Who the hell this fine, handsome looking ass nigga coming to work? He gonna take all our bitches. I went to high school. I went to a new high school, guys. I was a sophomore year. I transferred from the school I was going to a new high school. And when I got there, a guy didn't like me. And I considered this guy to be one of the popular guys. When I came to the school, he seemed to have all the popularity and everybody liked him and everything. But when I came there, he just didn't like me. I don't know why. He just didn't. So I decided to ask him why. I saw him one day. I said, Reggie. That was his name, Reggie. I said, Reggie, why you don't like me? He said, man, because you think you the shit, man, and you taking all our bitches. That was his exact words, guys. Because you think you're the shit, which he doesn't know me, so why he thinks that is because of outward appearance. There's something about me that he sees that he's envious of, and he's not willing to admit that, so in other words, he hates me instead, because that's what envy does. Envy is akin to death. It makes you want to kill. In other words, it makes you want to remove that person from your 3D experience. That's what killing is. Hating your brother in your heart is murder. So he hated me in his heart when he saw me, because of what he thought of me. He thought I was good looking, charismatic. I had style. I was very smart, witty. All of the things that he thought about me. And instead of liking me for that or loving for me or even becoming my friend, he hated me secretly. He didn't even tell me. He hated me secretly in his heart. And I had to ask him because like I said, I just saw it in his body language when I would come around. And I asked, what's all that about? You think you the shit and you taking all our bitches. So in other words, I was the man at this school and all the girls liked me here and they all wanted to be with me. But then when you came around, all the girls' attention started going to you. And when I would hear the girls talking, they would be talking about you. Well, nigga, shit, is that my fault? Y'all hear me, little flock? I walked to that bit like, well, is that my fault? Damn, Abba did that. Not me, brother. Shit. But that's just the truth. That's the truth. That's what he said. So do you see what I'm describing to you? The people you live around, you don't even know they're hating you. And if you don't ask them, they'll never tell you. So imagine, that was one guy. Imagine how all the rest of the people might have felt about me. Well, come to find out, a lot of them felt that way. And this nigga came in and just took all the attention. I wasn't even trying to. I was just uniquely different. I didn't dress like all the other Hebrew kids did with Jordans and Air Force Ones and shit. Nope. Never wore no Jordans or anything like that. I wore what I liked. I dressed the way I liked. You see what I'm saying? I was my own unique person amongst a bunch of clones. So I stood out. And of course that drew attention to me. See what I'm saying? But look at the hate that come with it. Yeah, man, what the hell? So then what should I have done? I'll give you guys another example. I'm in Italian class one time, right? I'm in Italian, and this wasn't my first language elective that I had took in school. So I understood how to use my mouth to speak other languages already. You see, I had already took Japanese class and learned Japanese. And so by the time I took Italian, I knew to take it seriously and pronounce the words according to the culture and the way that they speak, you see, because I learned that in Japanese class. When you learn Japanese, well, for me, when you learn Japanese from my sensei that I learned it from, you took it seriously and you didn't joke around about it, and you didn't let your American culture sway what you were learning. You understand what I'm saying? You learn their culture as well as their language when you learn that language. That's the way my teacher taught it to me. So I'll give you an example. One thing is, when we would come into class, most people, they come into class, they just sit in their seat and they talk and chat until class starts and they start class. Well, when I got to Japanese class, you would have to come, step in the doorway, bow to your teacher, say "Ohayo gozaimasu," and then go to your seat and sit. In other words, good morning. And then you go and sit. And when you're passed out a ditto, when you go to pass it to the student behind you, you don't just grab it and throw it over your shoulder like you do in America. See, you just get your ditto, put it on your table, throw the rest behind you, and they pass it back. Japanese class, you take them with both of your hands, you turn in your seat to face the student behind you, you bow while you hand them the paper, and it goes all the way down the line. So then we would do that kind of stuff. So I learned to respect the culture when you learn the language. So when I got to Italian class, it was no different. You see what I'm saying to you? Well, while I was in there, I was with a bunch of kids like me, see, Hebrews. And they thought it a joke, the way that I took it seriously and how I pronounce words. Like, for instance, to say goodbye in Italian, you say arrivederci. Arrivederci. When you say this, you see how I'm rolling the R's and pronouncing it the way an Italian person would? Well, they were saying arrivederci, arrivederci. So when she would tell them to read the word, they would say arrivederci. They're Americanizing it. I wasn't. Arrivederci. You see? They're reading the numbers uno, due, tre. No. Uno, due, tre, quattro, cinque, sei, sette, otto, nove. You see how I'm saying it? They were all like, look at this guy, man. Every time we would read a passage in Italian, I would read it just like that. Oh, look at this guy, dude. It was one guy in particular, his name Nikos. Oh, man, look at this guy. Think he's all smart and everything, better than us and everything. This is the same guy that when we were reading out of a book in class, the word that he was reading was gnat. You know how Yahusha says you strain at a gnat. Now, you guys know how gnat is spelled, right? G-N-A-T. Well, he didn't know that. So when he saw the word in the book, he said, gnat. And then he corrected himself and said, oh, wait, it must be G-nat. I'll never forget that shit. I laughed so hard inside of myself. I said, and outwardly, should I laugh? I said, shit, that nigga said gnat. While you're making fun of me for pronouncing the word correctly, you don't want me to make fun of you for pronouncing this shit wrong, though. Gnat, my nigga? G-nat? You have ever heard somebody use a word called G-nat in a sentence? It's clearly saying nat. The G is silent, my dude. Learn your phonics again. While you're trying to roast me for using mine. You understand what I'm saying? I said all that to say that's what's happening to you on a daily basis when you excel. When you're blessed and excel, it's called virtue. And virtue, people take hold of it and desire to have it. Let me explain it to you. The example was when Yahusha was walking through a crowd of people, and it was a throng, the Bible said. A throng means a large crowd of people grasping on you, like you were Michael Jackson and you got off stage and went down to the crowd. What do you think people would do if he did that? They would throng upon him. Well, that's what they were doing to Yahusha. So in the midst of all of this thronging upon him, a particular woman grabbed the hem of his garment. And when she grabbed it, he said, who touched me? For I perceive that what little flock foot sweep cut the head off and let it roll. I perceive that virtue have gone out from me. So that proved the point that the grandson was talking about. That when virtue come through the building, people will reach out to take hold of it, like that woman did. If I could just take hold of the hem of his garment, I will be made whole. See? Because they see the virtue And virtue doesn't come by anything outwardly. It comes from within you. That's where it is. But yet when people see the outward glory of the virtue, they think it's something you did outwardly to get it. Oh my goodness gracious, because they don't judge right, like I've told you. It's never done outwardly. It's done inwardly. And that's why I teach you guys to do the inward stuff. So then maybe you could attain the virtue that make people reach out for you, even if they have to do it in secret like Nicodemus did. Because of their comrades or people that they hang out with, they can't let them know that they listen to you. There's people like that with me. There's people that are listening to me that would love to let somebody that they love listen to me, but they know that the person that they love will not listen to me because they will judge me on outward appearance, and there will be something that they consider to be unclean. It will be. And they will call me leprous in some type of way, like they did Yahusha. You see? But they didn't read about Moses, who, when he said, how will the people know that you sent me? He said, put your hand in your garment. And he put it in, it was leprous. And he said, pluck it out and then put it back in. And he did, and it was clean again. So they don't know what that means about God's leader and how he will appear. He will take on the form of a servant, but yet the world thinks he takes on the form of some kind of king. I don't understand what reading you guys are doing. It's like their mind is saying he took on the form of a great king. Their mind tells them that because that's what they've been taught by the one who says, don't you want the kingdom? See, he's doing that to you. So he even tries to paint Yahusha up in that light. But the truth, Yahusha is saying, my kingdom is not of this world. It's not of this world. He took on the form of a servant. So then why are you lying, trying to paint up an image for me to see Yahusha looking that way? No, he said lowly. That's what he said, meek and lowly. Riding on a colt. He had no outward anything that men should gaze on him and think he was beautiful. He had none of that. The Bible says this. So then why are you trying to tell me and appeal to me outwardly? Because y'all are all deceived. That proved it. Your master that you all say you love is the opposite of your ass. He the opposite of everybody that didn't talk to you. But you want to sit up here and act like everybody knows him? They don't know him. Just like Yahushua said about the Father. So if he had to make the Father known because they didn't know him, and then they don't know the Son, so then who the hell is going to reveal the Son? The whole wide world? The world doesn't know him. So how in the hell can they reveal him to you, who's born into this world? They can't. They don't see him. They don't comprehend him. Neither indeed can they, because they're carnally minded. So they don't know what to expect. If God right now spoke openly to the earth right now and said, my anointed one is actually on the earth with you guys right now, they still wouldn't see him. They would look in vain. Because when he said my anointed was on the earth, they would look for a sign that he was the anointed one. And guess what happens when you look for a sign? You become wicked and adulterous, because that's what he said a wicked and adulterous generation does. That's why the grandson doesn't make videos talking about 7 signs that this is happening, or 7 signs that that is happening, or 6 signs of this, or 2 signs of that. That's why I don't do it, because I don't want you looking for a sign to prove a damn thing to you. I want you looking inside yourself. A sign is outside of yourself. I don't want you doing that, so then I won't tell you to. But there'll be many false who do tell you to. That's all they tell you to do. Look at this sign. Pay attention to this signs, man. Look at this sign that this. A wicked and adulterous generation looking for that. Oh, Yahushua did say that. And you're trying to tell me you didn't know he did say it? I'm trapped. Because if I say I didn't know, then how the hell am I a teacher? But if I say I did know, then how come I wasn't doing it? Fuck! Yeah, that's what I want you to scream. That's what I want you screaming out. You see, little flop? So, like I said, things aren't always what they seem. And it's not wise to judge a book by its cover. That's another line that you guys have heard your whole life. But yet y'all doing it. Y'all will go right out there in the world and profess all these stupid cliche things. Yes, don't judge a book by its cover, man. But yet you do it every day. Wow, look at that guy. He's rich. I must listen to him to see what he's got to say. Well, if I was Satan, I'd know how to deceive you. Oh, look at this person. They're dressed so nice. I must listen to them. Well, if I was Satan, then I'd know what to use against you. Oh, well, this person's so tall. Oh, well, I know what I need to do against that nigga to deceive his ass. Oh, well this, well that, and well this. Y'all hear? Y'all hear today? So, judge righteous judgment, little flock, and don't be deceived. All you have to know is if what the person telling you lines up with what I'm telling you. And if they do, then start to look at everything else that you were judging before and consider how unimportant it has now become to you. And then you'll be able to judge the way God judges, and you'll know how to judge your brother now. Do y'all hear the wisdom I just told you? Once you know that a source is credible, which means what they say lines up with what Abba says and what Christ says, and they remind you of what Christ said, and if they do that, and they're doing it accurately, then think about the things about that person that the world tells you makes them unclean. And if they bear any of those marks, then it's that hand that I told you about that Moses was flashing. I'm not over righteous or over wicked. Do I appear to you as though I walk as that? And you would say, yes. He's not overly righteous. He's not overly wicked either. He's in the middle. He's balanced. Okay, then. That's the narrow path. Now, I proved it with scriptures. If you guys need me to prove it, I'll prove it again. But I don't think I need to. Because your trust with your flock should get to the point where, guess what, little flock? You should say things, and they should automatically know where to find it. That's in the word. So you should be able to say it, and they know where to look, and they will find it. But if you say some shit, and they don't find it, then they know you're a liar. Or if you twist it, then they know you're a liar. Or if you leave some shit out, then they know you're a liar. See how that's working, little flockulators? So don't be deceived no more. But be blessed today, little flockulators. Silawam, Mr. Allah.